Have you ever wondered if the way you picture numbers in your head, smaller ones on the left, bigger ones on the right, is something you learned or something you were born with? It turns out science may finally have an answer, and the star of the show isn't a mathematician, it's a chick. Yep, I'm talking about actual newborn chicks. Researchers at the University of Padua set out to solve a decades-old mystery. Does the mental number line, that intuitive habit of seeing numbers from left to right, come from reading, or is it hardwired into our brains? They designed a clever experiment using domestic chicks, and the results are seriously mind-blowing. Here's what they did. First, they took two groups of eggs. One group was incubated with light, and the other in total darkness. Why? Because in the final days before hatching, a chick's right eye is closer to the shell, which means it gets more light, if there is any to be had. This little detail actually shapes how the chick's brain wires itself, making it more or less specialized on each side, a process called lateralization. After hatching, the chicks got a crash course in counting. They were shown 10 identical red bottle caps in a line and learned to find a tasty mealworm hidden under the fourth cap. Once they got the hang of it, the real test began. The researchers rotated the line of caps 90 degrees, so now there was a fourth cap from the left and a fourth from the right. Which would the chicks go for? Here's the twist. Chicks whose brains were strongly lateralized, thanks to that early light exposure, almost always picked the fourth cap from the left. But chicks incubated in darkness, with weaker lateralization, just guessed randomly. This suggests that the left-to-right mental number line isn't just a product of culture or reading, it's built into the biology, at least for chicks. But it gets even cooler. The scientists patched up one eye at a time, blocking either the left or right eye. When only the left eye was open, activating the right side of the brain, the chicks still picked from the left. When only the right eye was open, the preference flipped. And when the experimenters messed with the spacing between the caps, so the chicks couldn't use physical distance as a clue, the left to right preference disappeared. That means the mental number line depends on how objects are spaced out, not just raw counting. So why does this happen? The researchers think it might be an evolutionary shortcut. The right hemisphere of the brain is specialized for spatial awareness, and starting a search from the left might just be the most efficient way to forage for food. This discovery doesn't just explain quirky chick behavior, it could help us understand how humans develop number sense, and why things might work differently for people with brains wired in unique ways. So next time you count from left to right, remember, you might just have something in common with a clever little chick.